Yo, people, what is good? I don't know why my internet is it's telling me that I'm not live for some reason, which is bizarre. But anyway, let's talk, man. Sorry for my lateness. I'm literally just rushing back from work. Can you lot all do me a solid? Can you make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, right? Do me that. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, right? Those are the only two prerequisites that I asked for. So as you come in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also turn your post notifications on, people. So I'm not going to be here for long. I know there's Champions League football, so I'm really not going to be here for long. I know sometimes I say, oh, I'm not going to shout, and I end up shouting, but genuinely, I'm not going to shout today. Today, I come in peace. I just want to test a couple of bits and pieces that I've been reading the past couple of days that I've not really, not that I've not been happy with, or some bits I've not been happy with. Some bits I've just challenged, like whether I believe this or not, and some bits I just want to sort of gauge the general opinion, right? That's what I want to. That's what I want to speak about. But yeah, people, as I said, thanks for tuning in. I know Champions League night tonight. Annoyingly, Spurs aren't in it, and that's something I'm going to talk about. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it now. I'm not sure if you lot have seen it, but obviously Antonio Conte had a press conference. He had a press conference on Friday. Around he basically spoke about how Spurs fans don't have patience, right? He spoke about how there's no patience from Tottenham fans at the moment, and they expect that things will just happen quickly. Things will just happen overnight. And I think that's where I want to sort of test this dodgy theory of his. I really do. I'm trying to bring up the press conference transcript now. 1 second. Conte patience transcript. Yep. So I'm trying to bring. Okay. Yep. Here we go. So it says Antonio Conte admits that Tottenham fans' patience is finished amid team struggles. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys because I disagree wholeheartedly with what Conte is saying. But I thought, let's go through it. So this is the interview he conducted last Friday. Obviously, Spurs fans, if you're at the game on Wednesday, we booed at halftime. We booed at full time. Full time, I had already left. I was as soon as it hit the 93rd, 94th minute of injury time, I left. So yeah, let me just go through the comments. No, I don't know. Let me close this. Flip's sake, honestly. So they asked him about the atmosphere. He said, it's not on me to say if the atmosphere is good or not, and for sure. And I continue to tell you that here the patience has finished for the fans. The fans want to win trophies. Stop. And then you have to find the right solutions to make fans happy and to win the trophy in the future, because the patience of the fans has finished, and we feel this. I feel this. The players feel this. For this does not help the situation, because there are many players in this moment, also young players that are playing, and they need to improve and go step by step to grow. We are facing a different situation also with the injuries. Important players that stay out. Lloris, Bentancur, Sessegnon, Basuma is out for the rest of the season. If we undervalue this situation, I think that in every moment we have to try and create the right atmosphere to help the team, to help the players. Because I repeat my opinion, also against Milan, they tried to give everything. Then you weren't able to go into the next round against the team that won the league last season. It's sounding like a lot of excuses for me. It sounded like a lot of excuses for me. So let me even zero in on the first part. He said that the patience has finished for the fans. The fans want trophy. Stop. Okay, I just want to test this theory now, because the whole point, the rhetoric was Spurs are bringing in Antonio Conte to do something that other managers haven't done. And people are saying, is he wrong? Is he wrong? Yeah, I think he is wrong. I think he is wrong for these following reasons, right? Tottenham do not have a divine right to win any cup competition. Yeah. Tottenham do not have a divine right to win any cup competition. This is a side that have not won a trophy since 2008, since I was in college, right? We have not won a trophy in over 15 years. So I don't understand where he's seeing entitlement. If he thinks that booing at halftime and full time is a lack of patience due to just purely Spurs not winning a trophy, then I don't think he's perceptive enough to actually understand what he was watching on the Wednesday night last week. The fans booed at halftime and full time because we saw our team going out without a whimper to AC Milan. Bearing in mind, he spoke about AC Milan, who won the league last year. AC Milan just dropped points at home to Salernitana. If you don't know who Salernitana are, go and do your research and go and see where they are in the Serie A table. And then when you've searched who they are, go and then check AC Milan's record in recent months in the Serie A. This team, my internet was moving higgy there. This team have lost 3 of their last 8 games. They've drawn 1 of the last 8 games. Yeah. They have the worst defensive record of any side in the top 10, which is reminiscent to Spurs. But yet, one team over 2 legs look more likely to score than the other. And guess what? It's the team that doesn't have Harry Kane. It's the team that didn't have Son Heung-min. It's the team that didn't have Richarlison. It's the team that didn't have Kulusevski. It's the team that didn't have Danjuma. I'll say this with chest. Danjuma would start at AC Milan, and he was sat on our bench. Richarlison would start at AC Milan. I don't care what anyone tells me. He was sat on our bench. Kulusevski would start at AC Milan. He was starting for Spurs. Harry Kane moonwalks into that team. He was starting for Spurs. Son Heung-min at his best, the best version of Son, I would say, would start. Obviously, they've got Leao. But right now, yes, you're not going to pick Son over Leao. But you get the point I'm making. Son has actually got a strong resume behind him in terms of what he's done for the club. The point I'm making is this. The patience isn't down to, of course, not winning a trophy is upsetting. But the patience is simply down to how you want to approach games of football. That is where the patience is lost. It's nothing to do with winning trophies. Nobody would have lambasted Conte had he had gone through to AC Milan and you got dumped out by Man City in a valiant effort. Heck, the criticism, the scrutiny would be greater if Spurs were, for the following conditions, if Spurs were playing the version of AC Milan that we saw last season, and Spurs played well, and we created chances, and we did all these things. Apologies if I'm shy. I'm actually not shy. I'm just talking generally. Had Spurs had made better inroads into both games, the away game and the home game, there would be no booing. I can promise you this. If Tottenham were 1-0 up at halftime against AC Milan, there would have been no booing with a better performance. If the team showed willingness to go through, if you saw fight from the team, right? If we had more than 2 shots on target, if we were able to create meaningful chances at goal, if we were able to work Manyan and somehow we didn't go through, I promise you there would have been no booing at that ground. There wouldn't have been. Because real recognize real. It's disappointing to go out to AC Milan, for sure. But you would have respected Spurs more had they had put up a fight. The reason why there the patience has weared thin and is gone is because in these games, Spurs aren't even putting up a fight. Spurs aren't even putting up a fight. We didn't even lay a glove on AC Milan at their ground. Yes, despite having more possession, despite getting the territorial advantage we want, yeah, we weren't able to make inroads in their box. So it's all about your method of breaking these teams down. Sheffield United. Now, the AC Milan comparison is different to Sheffield United because AC Milan, listen, they're a piss poor team right now. I don't care what anyone tells me. AC Milan are not good right now. They're not. And I'm not saying Spurs are good. You would think that with the weapons we have at our disposal, we are more likely to inflict pain on them than they are on us. But we didn't even try. But then if I look at Sheffield United, there is no case anybody can make. There's no case anybody can make for me as to why Spurs are going out to Sheffield United when you know that what stands. Sorry, my internet again. It's so jarring. There's no excuse especially when you know that you were 2 games away from a semi-final. 2 games away from a semi-final. I repeat, we had Preston at home, favourable. So Portsmouth at home, favourable. Preston away, favourable. One of the most toothless teams in the Championship. You play Sheffield United, okay, fine. Even if I wanted to make the excuse of, oh, Spurs have in the last 30 years at Bramall Lane, all of that tosh, all of that nonsense. I don't care about past records. Sorry about my internet. I don't care about past records. People tell me, oh no, our record at their ground is not good. It's not good. I don't care. They're in the Championship, for heaven's sake. They're in the Championship. Our record isn't that great against Sheffield United because we haven't really played them that much in the last 30 years. How many times have Spurs played Sheffield United even in the last 20 years? How many times? What? 4? Max? 4 times? Yeah. Sally Shetty said it best. Higgy internet is back. You're damn right, it's back. Annoyingly. But yeah, Sheffield United. You had to be. If somebody said at the start of the season that Spurs will have played Championship and League One opposition from the 4th round all the way to the 6th round, you would make it mandatory that they must get to the FA Cup semi-final. If anyone gave Spurs that pathway to a FA Cup semi-final at the start of the season, you would have said minimum expectation, you must make that semi-final. You must. And you didn't. And now you're coming about patience. My guy, you lost to Middlesbrough last year. We had patience. You lost to Middlesbrough last year. It wasn't just you. We had some really bad performances. On the night. Son was bad. Kane was awful. Højbjerg was pants. The defense, shocking. We had some really bad performances. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. But fundamentally, you went out to Middlesbrough. We ignored it. Why? Because you were still in the early stages of your job. Shit happens. You're just beating Man City, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It happens. Nobody's going to chastise you for losing to Middlesbrough, even though it was pathetically bad. Fuming. This season, Spurs could not have asked for an easier run to an FA Cup semi-final. You couldn't. If I had gift wrapped this run, this would be it. It's basically an alley-oop to the FA Cup semi-final. sometimes there's a saying with the FA Cup, the luck of the draw, because sometimes you can avoid playing some of the big teams until you get to the semi-final. And once you get to the semi-final, it's anyone's money. I don't care what anyone tells me. Yeah. You stand a good chance of making the final and winning the damn thing. But no, not only do you go out to Sheffield United, you go out to Sheffield United's B team. They made 8 changes. You go out to their B team. You go out to their B team and you go out without a whimper. You didn't really put much. We watched the game. Everyone's obviously you'll see 17 attempts from Spurs, but we watched that game in 90 minutes. There was no point in that game where I felt that Sheffield United were under any real pressure. There was no point in that game where I thought, wow, Spurs, we're peppering them. You went out without a whimper to Sheffield United. You, via your proxy, Stellini. And then we're hearing patience. I got so much love for Conte as a manager, but as far as his job at Spurs is concerned, it's finished. It's done. Don't come in here talking about patience, because we've given you patience. We've had patience. We've endured months of inconsistent, horrible performances. We have. We've endured a lot. Spurs are 4th right now. Do you think that if things were going as they should, that fans would be moaning? Yeah. I'm not even saying that, oh yeah, if we had beaten Sheffield United, we win the FA Cup. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you've basically taken away our best opportunity in years to make an FA Cup semi-final simply because of a dead approach, a toothless approach to games against probably one of the worst opposition we'll play this year. I don't care about no Sheffield United fan channels. I don't care. Spurs are a Premier League side. Spurs are a Premier League side and have played in the Champions League. When you look at the tiering, Sheffield United are right slap bang at the bottom in terms of quality, in terms of the teams we've played this season. The teams with the lowest amount of quality that we've played this season are in the Championship and League One. So you are playing second and third tier opposition, and not only that, you're playing a heavily rotated second tier opposition, and you couldn't even flex. You couldn't even throw everything at them. You couldn't even pepper them. That's why fans have lost patience. Don't talk about they expect trophy. No, we expect you to make a better fist of these trophies. We expect you to put an AC Milan side that have been shipping goals for fun under pressure with your tactics. We expect you to coach and G up this side that have beaten Man City, that have beaten West Ham, that have beaten Chelsea in recent weeks, to put in a better performance against Sheffield United. Why is that so hard to say? Why is that so difficult to grasp from Conte? It makes no sense. I find it hilarious when he says that Spurs fans have no patience. Brother, you must not know what it means to be a Spurs fan then, if you truly believe that. We are one of the most loyal sets of fans. Look at all that we have to put up with, and we still go. We still support. How can you say we're not patient? This guy, Nottingham Forest, the team that I didn't watch the game, to be honest. I didn't watch the game, but I heard that it was a comfortable day out. And this is the same team that you got dumped out 2-0 in the League Cup. They made the semi-finals, by the way. They made the semi-finals of the League Cup. Had Spurs had given a better account for themselves in these cup competitions, the energy towards Conte would be different. Had Spurs have been playing better, had Spurs have utilized the squad to its fullest and played to its best capacity throughout the season, the energy towards Conte would be different. But they haven't, which is why the energy is what it is now. So when I hear this talk on Spurs fans being entitled, it actually makes me laugh because I don't understand what team you think this is. I don't get it. You're probably working for one of the probably of all the top 6 sides, you're working for the one chairman who doesn't even place true job security on your performance in cups. Where is the entitlement? Well, you're working underneath a chairman who literally doesn't give 2 shits about cups. All he cares about is top 4 and the bottom line. But fans, we want to see our team make a better account for ourselves in these competitions. You're a winner, right? Isn't this what you want? Isn't this what you specialize in, winning? So when we're seeing winnable ties, winnable games in cup competitions that we flop, is he expecting people to be happy about that? I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, let me go through some comments, man. Big up you lot as well for sending in the comments. Big up for the super chat as well. Let me read this super chat. People, 318 of you lot in here. Smash the like button. Make sure you smash the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. Turn your post notifications on. I'm not going to be going for long. I will promise you this will be done before the Champions League starts. Big up JJ Ash, Arsenal fan. I see you on the Big Six. Antonio. Damn, man. Damn, Conte. Last season, you were the man, Conte. What the hell happened to you? Damn shame. Okay. Sorry about that. Internet again. Frozone. Wi-Fi moving mad again. Apologies. Apologies, folks. Apologies. Yes, my internet is shit. I want you guys to do me a favor. Sorry, I'm going to stop swearing on this. My internet is crap. I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you guys to spam OpenReach. Spam OpenReach and ask them why fiber is not widely available across Enfield. Why is fiber only available in one part of Enfield but not the other part? Why? Tell me how that makes sense. I work in IT. It is it's actually scary. It's despicable that we are in 2023 and I can get fiber 10 minutes away from here, but I can't get fiber here. No sense. No sense. No sense. But anyway, yeah, man, that's just my view on Conte. I think he's waffling, man. And I feel like he's in that mode where he's doing everything in his power to deflect away from reflect away from your job performance. As a manager, are you doing the best you can do as a manager? We know our defense is crap. I'm struggling to see any fan who's blaming Conte when Dyer's heading the ball to Ben Davies. Yeah. When Romero's flying into challenges against Teo Hernandez. No. As I mentioned, the fans were booing at half-time. Before Romero got sent off, where Spurs only had 2 attempts in a game you need to win. 2 attempts, 0 on target at home. At home. That's why there's anger. Just needs to do some self-reflection, look inward. Yeah. Enough with the blame game. Enough with the blame game. JRG says, I think with these statements, though, Tobes, he's taking digs at the board. Yeah, that's calm. But he's taking a big swipe at the fans. That's what he's talking about. Nobody complains when he's taking a dig at the board. He's taking a dig at fans as if to say that fans shouldn't expect that Spurs should beat Sheffield United or beat AC Milan. And he's talking up AC Milan as if they're this team that we have to fear. This is the first time AC Milan have made knockouts in almost 10 years. Do I have to read their league form in recent months again? I actually keep up to date with Italian football at the top end. And I'm telling you that this AC Milan team, are pathetic in recent weeks. They're not good. They're not a good side. And I'm not saying that Spurs are a good side, but I'm saying that Spurs have more than enough at their disposal to have made a better fist of that tie. But anyway, yeah. This chat is hilarious. If you work in IT, can't you just make your internet better? LOL. Nah, you lot are jokes, man. You lot are jokes. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, no, man. Here's a fair point from Goonie Topple. He says, Tobes, you lot need to boycott everything Spurs related and force Enoch leave out, and realistically that process could take years. Only way you guys progress. Listen, mate, we're trying, man. We're trying. It's difficult, man. It's difficult. And I don't just mean, because obviously people say, oh no, why don't you? Why? Like, it's difficult to completely detach yourself from going to matches. Why should fans have to deprive themselves of their team because of incompetent owners? And even if fans do that, Daniel Levy and Enoch are not like other businessmen. These guys are all about their De Niro. So they don't care about fan fury. They don't, right? Enoch out has been a movement for years. Maybe not as massive, but it's been a movement for years. And fans are actively putting their foot on Enoch's necks. They're trying, they're asking, they're imploring the trust to ask the right questions when they speak to the club. But fundamentally, when you have guys who are so obsessed with the business side of things, they don't care about like revolts. They don't care. They don't care. As long as the team are bringing in the money on the pitch, that's what they care about. They're not going to sell anytime soon. They're only going to sell when it suits them and they get a good enough offer. It's pain, but I do agree though. We do need to do more, and I even need to do more as well. I'm not going to a single Spurs game until United. Big man thing. I'm not genuinely, and I think we play United April the 27th. It's bad of me, obviously, because I've paid for a season ticket, so I've paid. The money's already gone, so it's not like me going is going to dent their pockets. But I just need a break myself. No home, no away games. You won't see me there for the next like 5-6 weeks. Impossible. But anyway, yeah, fair play with your chat, man. Sandy HG is dead, says real trophies are the friends we made along the way, for fuck's sake. Stop swearing. I hate this. I'm trying to stop swearing. For flip's sake. Thank you for the super chat though. Usman says, I'm still waiting on your top 3 UK albums, KMT. Any genre, just albums you rate. Also, where can I find more vids with you? Kevin, yeah, Shinsai, you three are so funny. Big up, bro. You can actually find us more on Touchline. So Touchline Fracas. My internet again, jarring. United Spurs of America. If you're actually in town and you need a spare ticket, I will actually give you mine. I think we play. So I've already given away. One sec. My home ticket to my friend for Brighton, but you can have my home ticket for Bournemouth. You can have my home ticket for Bournemouth. I will give you my home ticket for Bournemouth. DM me on Instagram or Twitter. If you're actually, it says United Spurs of America, so I could probably only get you one, just mine. But if you're actually in the UK and you want to go to any of that game, Bournemouth on the 15th of April, yeah, hit me up. But yeah, let me move on. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was top 4 not being enough. And I'm seeing a few people mentioning this as well. And again, it sort of speaks to what non-Spurs fans are presuming to be entitlements. What do you mean top 4 is not good enough? Where do you get off saying that? Who's Spurs? What have you won? Blah, blah, blah. the usual rhetoric. The usual rhetoric, right? I don't buy all of that because circumstance, context in this situation is fair. Chelsea fans won't like me saying that because I don't put context behind theirs, but I think if you look at how the season has panned out, right? Spurs had a genuine opportunity to go far in the League Cup. They didn't. Spurs had a genuine opportunity to go far in the FA Cup. They didn't. Spurs had an opportunity to make the final 8 of the Champions League, a good opportunity. They didn't. And then when you look at the league performance, Spurs have already lost 9 games this season. That's 2 games less than what they lost for the entirety of last year. Bearing in mind the squad is better this season than it was last year. On top of the fact that we were pathetic in the Champions League group stages, on top of the fact that we've conceded more goals. Let me even check how many goals we conceded last year. I'm pretty sure we've already exceeded our tally. I'm pretty sure we have. One sec. Let me just double check, just so I don't feed you lot lies. Yeah. So we conceded. No, tell a lie. We conceded 40 goals in 38 appearances. We are on 36 goals conceded. So that means we are 4 goals away from our total amount that we conceded with 11 games left to play. Do you know how mad that is? Do you know how mad that is? Spurs could genuinely concede 50 goals this season. So this is what we mean by top 4 isn't enough, because even when you put in the context, so I've spoken about the cup element. Spurs, in my opinion, don't care what anyone tells me, we should have done enough to have been in the last 8 of the FA Cup. We should have done enough to beat AC Milan. We should have. I don't care what anyone tells me. We should have done enough to at least, forget, even if you don't believe in beating, we should have done enough to at least put them on edge, put the fear of God into their defense. We didn't do this. And then when you look at what the top 4 race is this season, Chelsea have been diabolical. Liverpool have been pants. Yeah. Even United have been the most consistent of all of us outside of Man City and Arsenal. And Spurs are 2 points behind Man United. Obviously, they got a game in hand, but it was 2 points behind Man United. Do you get? Like, this is not a good enough top 4 race, in my opinion. And it seems like top 4 is a... And I don't mean that with any disrespect, because I feel like teams like Newcastle have been fantastic this season. Obviously, it fell off in 2023. Teams like Brighton are flying. Teams like Fulham, flying. Brentford, flying. But these teams do not have anywhere near the resources this season. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about squad resources. They don't have the resources that Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man United have. But despite all of this, Spurs are down in pretty much every single metric. Every positive metric we had to start the season and to end last season, we're down in. Prior to Nottingham Forest, I think even in 2023, prior to Nottingham Forest, we didn't score a goal in 3. I've already spoken to you about the losses. The expected goals against is high. The expected goals is decreasing. The brand of football is poor. The performances against the big 6 teams have been pants. So yes, if the season was to end today and Spurs were to finish 4th, it's not enough for me. Yeah, we get qualification, but it's not enough to make me happy, because I can't look at this as a good season. I cannot look at this as a good season, because when I look at what I've witnessed, how can you say that Spurs have been good? We are noticeably worse than we were last year. That's reflected in the results. That's reflected in the performances. That's reflected in the form of several players. That's reflected in the manager's performance. So many players have been off it this year. The manager his tactic has been found out. Yeah. The bench players haven't really done their bid or haven't really been given the opportunity. It's just, yeah. How can it be good? So when you want to say, oh, before you want to attack any Spurs fan, actually ask, break down the season. Don't just look at the table and say, oh no, Spurs are fourth. Why can't you just be happy with that? Analyze the season in totality. Analyze it. How can we be playing the way we're playing and we're still fourth? That just tells you how poor some of the teams behind us have been in 2023. How? Liverpool thrashed United, the team above us, they thrashed United 7-0, and then they go and lose to bottom of the league, or third from bottom, Bournemouth. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you actually get what I'm saying here? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, big up you lot as well. Smash the like button as well. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've read the super chat already from Usman. But yeah, hit the subscribe button. Turn your post notifications on as well. Make sure as well that you subscribe to Fuat's channel. We're going to be doing the THFC show tomorrow. I want to finish off by talking about the managers and Kane's future. So I'm going to talk about Kane's future because I saw a report today from that German journalist, Florian Plettergo or something like that. And he mentioned that Man United are unlikely to make a move for Harry Kane because Daniel Levy's demands. Levy's going to price him out of a move, etc., etc., etc. I mean, with the Harry Kane thing, I'm a pessimist, and my friends will tell you this for free. I'm a pessimist. In my head, I've accepted that Harry Kane is going. I don't think it's nailed on that he's going, but I think it's likely, which is why I don't really buy what's being said here. I always have to ask myself a question. If this was true, if Harry Kane's really considering a new contract, if Spurs are unwilling to sell, etc., etc., why hasn't he signed a new deal? Is Daniel Levy really going to let potentially 80 to 100 million slip because he wants to keep Kane for one more year? Is he really? Obviously, Kane is a unique case because he's the best player. He's the best player, in my opinion, that we've had in terms of performances. Maybe in terms of quality, of course, you can look at potentially like a Modric or Bale. But if we're talking about the best Premier League performer for Tottenham in the Premier League, without question, it's Harry Kane. So this is literally your prize jewel. Creme de la creme. If he doesn't want to sign a new deal in June or August, which is likely, what are Spurs going to do to convince him otherwise? I keep asking my friends this. What is the sell? And I keep thinking about it in my head, and I'm like, what can Spurs really sell to Harry Kane that they haven't sold already? In my head, the only hope that Spurs have of keeping Harry Kane is, simply put, if the teams that could go Harry Kane, that could come in for Harry Kane, choose not to come in for Harry Kane or choose not to pay the money. And apparently that's what's being reported. Man United are going to go for Osimhen. Can go for Osimhen. He'll cost more than Harry Kane. I can tell you that for free. And he's not even half the striker Harry Kane is. And I'm saying that as a Nigerian who likes Osimhen. He is not even half the striker Harry Kane is. But hey, you think I'm going to complain at Harry Kane potentially staying another season? Hell no. Hell no. No chance. I would love for Harry Kane to stay another season. But when I actually deep it and think about it, my thoughts make me think negatively about it, because I can see Man United, contrary to what Pletigo says, I can see Man United coming in for Harry Kane. They'll say they want to go for a younger project, but Harry Kane is one of those signings United can make that can bridge a gap and can get them competing. If they add a player of his caliber to that team, and my friend Steve will probably say, "Oh no, this is what I said." He's always told me, "Oh no, Man United, they signed 2 or 3 quality players and they can challenge." I'm like, "Nah, they need more." And of course, Harry Kane alone may not do that, but he gets them competing, in my opinion, because now you have a Lengman who's scoring 30 to 40 goals in all comps and can give you everything else you need outside of that. Right? Why is it unlikely that Man United don't make a bid for him? And I'm not even trying to talk up the move, but I'm just using logic. This is a team that spent 70 million on Casemiro, who's turned 31 this year, or turning 31 this year. 70 million euros on Casemiro, 60 something quid. Right? This is a team that spent 80 million on the 26-year-old Maguire. Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, why am I supposed to believe that they wouldn't make a move for Harry Kane? I don't believe that. I do believe that Harry Kane's options are limited simply because of how much he would cost and his age. But I don't believe that Man United are not interested in Kane. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when Harry Kane is at Spurs come the end of August and the window's closed and he's still wearing a Spurs top and he's still playing for the team. I'll believe it then. Until that happens, I'm not believing shit. Sorry, I'm not believing niche. I don't buy it. And even Daniel Levy as well. Of course, Harry Kane is a unique case. And from a fan perspective, if it was down to me, boy, shoot, you don't have to ask me twice. I'm keeping him until his contract runs out. But I'm a fan. And yes, I know Daniel Levy's a fan, but he's also the custodian of the club. Right? So he has to look at the business. He has to look at the business element of keeping Kane. I'm a fan. The money doesn't do anything for me. The club money doesn't do anything for me. I would happily keep Harry Kane and write off the amount that we're expected to receive. But does Daniel Levy think that? Does the club shareholders think that? Do they? You're just going to let an 80 to 100 million pound asset depreciate to the point where he leaves for nothing? Really? Am I really meant to believe that? I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. This is Ericsson who stood firm, and the club sold him in January eventually for 20, I think it was like 27 million or something like that. Right? Even Dembele, who was on his last legs, the club, instead of keeping him for 6 months, the club sold him to try and take that little bit of money that they could from Dembele for 11 million. So I'm struggling to believe that Daniel Levy will resist all offers from Harry Kane in the hopes of trying to pin him down for a new contract, knowing that you run the risk of losing him on a free transfer. I don't buy that. And as I said, I will only buy it when I see it happen. I need to see this materialize before I can believe it, because logic is telling me that Kane is gone in the summer. So yeah, that's just my opinion. And then I'm going to close it on this, people, because I know you guys want to watch the Champions League. I'm going to close it on this. Whoever the manager is for Spurs, I'm actually quite flexible. I'm actually quite open. I just hope that they do right by this manager. Right? I hope that they do right by this manager, and I hope they pick a manager that actually satisfies the comments that Daniel Levy made about how we need to go back to our roots, the free-flowing attacking football, all of this spiel. Walk the walk. Don't just talk the talk. Walk the walk. Whichever manager you bring in, whether it's Poch, whether it's De Zerbi, whether it's Enrique, Give them the platform, the best possible platform to succeed. And please, please make sure that their philosophy aligns with the culture that you want to set for the club. Please. Developing young players, integrating academy players into the first team, right? Playing a modern style, front-footed approach, aggressive style, utilizing the squad to its fullest, culling the team or giving them the time and resources to cull this team of all the dead wood. And yeah, the manager should tick these boxes. If they don't hire them. Simple as. Do not hire them. Don't hire them. I saw people talking about Steve Cooper, and listen, I respect the work that Steve Cooper's done at Nottingham Forest. I think he's good for Nottingham Forest, but I don't want to see Steve Cooper at Spurs. I've seen that Enrique's been linked with the job. I like Enrique. I think he's a good manager, but I have doubts on how he would work under Daniel Levy, how he would work at Spurs. And I feel like Enrique is another name. If we're going for an up-and-comer, if we're going for another project, get a project manager. Get someone that we can build a project around. I've heard of Gallardo. I've done my research on him. He plays the small research I've done. It seems like his teams play a nice, proactive style of play. I don't know much else about him. I know he's River Plate Donny, so I need to read up on Gallardo. I'm not shutting off Gallardo. I've read about Amorim. I'm really impressed with the work he's done in Portugal, right? See the work he's done with Sporting Lisbon. I read about the work he did for Braga. And he's young. You can build around it. But again, Ruben Amorim, 3-4-3 merchant. 3-4-3 merchant, exclusively 3-4-3 merchant. If you want to go away from a manager who was a bit tactically, who was not flexible with his tactics when he was sticking to his three at the back, do you then want to hire another manager, although younger, to do the same thing? But if you want to consider Amorim, consider Amorim. But there are doubts. Even Pochettino, I love Poch. But I spoke about the doubts with Poch. But if we're talking on pros, Poch ticks a lot of these boxes. And nobody can argue otherwise. He ticks a lot of these boxes. Yeah? People in the comments saying Gallardo is Tottenham's best bet. Let's see. I want to do more research on him. I've read and heard good things. So let's see. Is he even linked to the job? Is he even linked to the job? Who knows? I just want there to be precision. No faffing about. No hiring of managers that causes us as fans to tweet hashtags no to this person. Yeah. Bring in managers that you can build the next project around. That's all we ask for. Conte, funnily enough, talks about a lack of patience. I don't know about any other Spurs fans. I can't speak for them, but I can speak for myself. I am more than willing to give the next Spurs manager patience, provided it's the right guy to do the job at hand. And we see the things that we haven't seen amongst the combination of Conte, Nuno, and Jose stint. If we see a return to some of the things that we saw in the Pochettino. So if we got the results from Conte last year, but we had more younger players integrated, we had a lot more flexibility this season, right? We had the dead wood being stripped out of the team. We had the pathway from the academy to the first team clear. Things would be different. But anyway, people, that's enough rambling from me. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I might do some more of these, man, because I'm not sure if you guys noticed, I didn't do a pre and post match for Nottingham Forest because I didn't care about that game. I'll be real. My head was still on Mars from the exit to Milan, so I couldn't give a monkeys about that game. So yeah, if I do watch the Southampton game, maybe I might do a review, but I'm going to try and at least do another one of these videos, maybe towards the back end of the week, or I might do a Southampton review. We'll see. But anyway, people, Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Big up to yourselves. Enjoy the Champions League football this evening and take care. Peace.